And she had great success with this. And I'm like, I just applaud her for doing something different, right? I mean, in order to move forward, we have to do things that we've never done before.
Welcome to the Other 99% podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Duck, a coffee loving direct sales enthusiast who's obsessed with a good digital system. Come join me for a realistic look into the world of direct sales. We'll explore inspiring perspectives, learn about unique business tips, and celebrate success stories that often go untold. Because on the other 99%, every seller matters.
Hey everyone, it is me, Lisa, and welcome back to another episode of The Other 99%. I'm here with our co host, Susan Larimer, and today we're going to talk to you guys about something a little different. We were just sitting chatting about, what life was like, what business was like, let's say before COVID. And there's been a lot of changes in both of our businesses. So, what we're going to do today is sort of give you a little like sneak peek of what we were doing prior to COVID and what we're doing in our business today, and maybe a little glimpse into what we might be doing a year from now or so. So, I'm going to jump over to you, Susan. Can you give the listeners a little bit of a sneak peek into your life?
Yeah, it was interesting. Pre-COVID is such a different time, and it's 5 years post-COVID now. So now we're 5 years past looking, and Lisa and I were just kind of reflecting on our businesses today versus before COVID. And I remember, I think it was 2018, I was riding the Facebook party wave and
Mhm.
I was doing so well. And it was like probably 2 years of Facebook parties, Facebook parties, Facebook parties. And they were, it was thousands of dollars every month. It was amazing. And then all of a sudden, it didn't work anymore. And I think that's
Mhm.
the interesting part about direct sales is you're constantly like enjoying the wave, but then the wave is going to crash and then you're like, "Okay, what am I going to do next?" Enjoy the next wave and then it crashes and then you got to pivot again. That word pivot is just something we hear all the time in direct sales. How are you going to pivot? So I started my journey with Lemongrass Spa in 2000 what 14 2014 and was in person. So in
Mhm.
person for a couple of years, and then I got tired of dragging my stuff to people's houses and setting up and standing in front of people. So then I rode that social media, the Facebook party wave. And then 2020 hit and still a lot on social media, but the Facebook parties were kind of crashing at that point. They weren't working anymore, regardless, COVID or not. They just weren't, people were tired of them. So then I got into collaborating and working with other direct sellers. I got into the Modern Direct Seller Academy at that time, and I know Lisa and I joined that academy at the same time. So seeing how other people were doing their business. So then I got into email marketing, and then I got into my own website. And now, 2025, I have my own website. I have email marketing. I just jumped into YouTube about a month or two ago, and that's what I've been doing recently. So it's interesting to see how our businesses have gone. All I've hit social media in person, online, slow game, long game, all the things. And I think that's what keeps me excited about direct sales is that it never gets old. And you're never like, oh, I've been doing this year after year after year the same way. It's always changing and it's always challenging.
You're keeping your business fresh too, right?
Right,
You're
right.
Yeah.
Relevant,
Yep.
fresh. Yeah, yeah. And that's what I love. If I were doing the same thing year after year after year, even if it did work, I would be bored silly.
Mhm.
So I don't know. What about you, Lisa? How has your business changed over the last 5+ years?
I mean, I think back, I started my business in like 2006.
You
It's
were
like crazy. Like when I think about that, I'm like, oh my goodness. And I started in Mary Kay and I loved doing my thing. It was always everything was in person at that time. There was no online anything.
Yeah.
Then I transitioned into Epicure, and again, I was doing a lot of vendor events, fairs, in-home parties, and all that thing. And then, I was at home with my kids during that phase, getting out at night or on the weekends when my husband was available, really worked in that stage of life. But then my kids went back to school and they didn't need me as much, right? And then I'm like, well, what do I do? And then I actually did a pivot at that point, and I got a full-time JLB and just did my business part-time. And that was like a huge shift. Like it was completely different. I found myself struggling because I was always, wanting to be reactive. I was trying to do my work and I'd get messages on my phone or I'd get emails from customers or phone calls, and it's like, oh, I don't want to keep them waiting. So that really taught me a lesson about how, you had to pick your schedule, you had to time block on how you work. So that I'm very thankful that for that stage of my life. Um, and then COVID hit, right? And COVID just sent us all for a loop. Um, I was laid off from my full-time job, like most other people were. Um, and then I had to pivot again. I had 100% of my time to do on my business. I didn't have that other JOB over my head where I had to be out of the house for 8 hours a day. And I, like you, went 100% Facebook parties, and they were great. Like, I mean, everybody remember those COVID years? It's like you could just put a post up and sell things. It's like people are like, "Yeah, please, I'll take that." And I mean, being in the food industry, it was crazy because it was I was totally shocked about how many people did not know how to cook. So having that solution that, here, just add this package to these few ingredients and you could put dinner on the table in 20 minutes or less. I had people like just banging at my door for this Epicure stuff, right?
Restaurants
So
were closed. They had to cook.
exactly. They had to cook at home. The only thing you could do is get groceries. So,
Right.
and unless you wanted to eat hot dogs every day of the week, you had to learn how to cook. I mean, we were cooking at that point 3 times a day, 7 days a week. I
Yeah.
don't know anybody who did that much cooking,
Right.
right? Just think
Right.
about that. And it was really an odd time. And then the COVID wave started to plateau and sort of come down. People were starting to go back out and they were going back to work, and business pivoted again because I didn't have that same response to Facebook parties. But one thing that stayed consistent in my business for most of the time was email marketing.
Mm.
So I found that when I was looking at the academy, I was looking for a group of individuals who were thinking outside the box, because I found the group of people that I was associated with in Epicure just weren't those thinkers. They were more of reactive thinkers. They did things, okay, well, let's change this because this isn't working. But they weren't thinking long term, thinking about the future and all that stuff. So when I found the Modern Direct Seller Academy, I absolutely loved the fact that I had people talking about email marketing. I had people talking about doing different types of parties because we had the scroll party at that time. Um, they I was introduced to Squee at that point. I don't know if anybody's heard of that, but it was like an online platform, a different type of platform for doing parties. And I had my phase in everything. I mean, I think we all have. We had our foot into everything in our business. And then, you know, fast forward to January of this year, and my direct sales business just came to a screeching halt, right? And it's like, well, what do I do now? It's like I've been in direct sales since 2006. That's the only thing I really knew, right? It's like I felt like not quite. I'm like, but I've been in direct sales for almost half my life, if not. It's like it's crazy. But at that point, I just started jumping into different companies, just seeing if I could find my next Epicure, seeing if I could find my next Epicure. But I was always passionate about you can't promote a product that you yourself don't truly love,
Mhm.
right? So I never really took any of those businesses off the ground. I sold the odd thing here and there because there's always a product or two that you end up loving and you keep using, but I couldn't commit to that, right? So it was like, what do I do? So then I found out Epicure is coming back. So in a new kind of format, it's just affiliate marketing, which I'm absolutely excited about because at this stage of my life, I don't want to deal with a team,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I don't want to deal, and I'm just being honest. I love my team. I love the team I had with Epicure, but I just don't have that time in me right now. So I'm loving the idea of going affiliate. But that being said, I don't have time in my business for a team and the whole on direct sales experience like I had 5 years ago.
Mhm.
Because not only am I doing the affiliate with Epicure as soon as they launch at the end of August, but I'm working part time with Oh My High. So I'm doing the customer service support there. And then I also have my own side gig, Digitally Direct, where I'm offering, one-on-one coaching for people who are struggling with digital systems. And I'm doing digital products, creating digital products for people. So I just recently launched a 15-minute CEO planner and like literally on the weekend just hit publish on one of my newest projects, which is a custom GPT for small business owners who need to learn how to blog. And I mean, this is where my passion is now. My passion is in helping other like-minded individuals get their business moving and taking the overwhelm out of all of the digital, noise that's out there. So, I mean, when I look back, I'm like, wow, have things changed,
Yeah.
right? Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Did you ever think way back in 2010 that you would be doing all of these things?
My God, no, there's no way back then I would have even thought I would be doing this. Like,
Right.
we didn't even say the podcast. Like, we're
Right.
doing a podcast, Susan. It's
Right.
like this is crazy, right?
No.
Um, but I was, and I still am, like that socially shy girl. Like, I don't like the attention. I don't like, being on stage. I don't like the spotlight in by any means. So thinking about doing something like this is like, no, this is not like I was the last person you would have thought that would be in direct sales. Last person.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's interesting what I hear you saying and what I hear, what I know about myself. We both maybe don't want to be leading a team directly and like in close contact, like our own
We don't
team.
want to manage a team.
Right. But
Like
we want
you know what
to
I mean?
teach others. We do have
Hmm.
a heart to teach others. So you're able to do that. Well, I mean, we both are on this
Yeah.
podcast. That's what we
Yeah.
love, coming up with topics and then researching the topics. And we learn so much too on our podcast. But we love teaching, but we don't always have the opportunity to teach. I have a very small team. Even though I've been with the company for 11 years, I only have like 40-ish people on my team, and most of them are discounters. So I don't
Hmm.
have the opportunity to pour into them. Sometimes I force feed pour into them, but they don't want to hear it. Like they're just
Yeah.
interested in the discount. We have a great relationship, but the information that I'm providing for them, it's not relevant for them. They don't really it's it doesn't serve them. So on the podcast, on my YouTube channel, I get to serve people on any direct sales company who want to receive training. And
Hmm.
that's what I love. I'm serving people I don't even know. Maybe we'll get to connect one day through a message or something, but we both want to teach, and podcast, YouTube, email marketing, those give us the opportunity to do that. And that's what I love.
Well, and I thought it was brilliant when you started launching your YouTube channel because I remember this conversation that I had with you and you're like, "Oh my God, Lisa, I never thought about that." It's like, but when we were talking about like what is your intentions? Like why did you start your YouTube channel? What are you hoping to get from it? And I remember your response was like, "At this point I don't I'm not really sure. Like I
Yeah.
don't really know." And then, but I know that we did have a good conversation. So do you want to share with the listeners like what you've determined, like the whole why behind your YouTube channel?
Well, the why behind it was to be able to serve others, and it was very much a teaching YouTube in direct sales. So it's called blue collar direct sales because I'm like middle class direct seller. I'm not making millions. I don't own a yacht, even though I have a kayak. But we want to target the people who are running their business every single day. They're serious about their business and they're just looking for, tips and trainings to continue to do it their way, not making millions, but just doing it their way. And then it was Lisa's idea to start adding at the end of each episode a little call to action like, hey, if you don't have a direct sales company and you're benefiting from these trainings, like maybe check out Lemongrass Spa and become a consultant with me, join my team. And then that just, opened my eyes to so many more opportunities. So right now the YouTube channel is a mix of, training direct sellers. The podcast is on there every week, which I absolutely love. And then I'm sprinkling in the lemongrass spa products too. So hopefully I'm getting, recruits, customers, and relationships with other direct sellers. So it's fun to explore. It's fun to do. Um, I'm learning how to edit videos, not as well as Lisa, but I'm learning.
I'll be honest, I have a lot of AI help. It's not all on me anymore. So
Yeah. But we were talking about that before. This is the long game. So if someone searches customer care in direct sales, maybe my video will come up years later because that information, that technique that I use, it's not going to change. Customer care is customer care. You're following up, you're reaching out, things to say, it's not going to change. So I love the longevity of YouTube. Pinterest is another one. And I know you kind of dabbled in Pinterest a little bit. That's another long game.
mhm.
I'm not going on TikTok. That is a quick, fast game, and I'm just you get on TikTok. I won't let my kids get on it. It's just a whole
I mean,
thing.
I think a lot of people are just so mean on TikTok. I go to the comment section there and it's like, wow,
Isn't
wow, like do you really need to be like that? Like, wow.
I'm just protecting myself and my family.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, let's be honest though. I know a number of people who are killing it
I
on
know.
TikTok.
I
Like
know.
they're killing it.
Yeah.
I think back to so let me go back to the whole YouTube thing because I love the fact that you're doing the YouTube channel because if I had to pick um a direct sales company right now, like say I was sitting here thinking it's like Lisa, you got to get back into direct sales. You're ready to jump in. You want to do the whole thing like you did before.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be searching the web
Mhm.
for like direct sales companies. I would be on YouTube seeing what leader stood out to me with
Mhm.
their trainings. I would be on social media looking for a leader that pours into their community. And those would be the ones that I would approach. And I know enough now that I wouldn't just jump in either. It
Mhm.
would be a, can we have a chat? Can I interview you? Can you tell me this? Can you tell me that? So I
Yeah.
love that you're doing the YouTube thing because I mean, it's just so valuable. I think back to Kimberly Polito. I it was funny because I was geeking at like during COVID, what do? You're sitting here, you can't do anything, everybody's home.
Yeah.
And so I was either working my business or scrolling YouTube looking for training and like more information on how I can grow my business. And Kimberly Polito, I came across her on YouTube with all of her training videos. So
Mhm.
I binge watched her for the longest time. And then it was so funny because then she joined the Modern Direct Seller Academy, and I messaged Becky. I'm like, "Do you know who that is?" I'm like, "That's like Kimberly." And Becky's like, "Who?" And I'm like, "Oh man, you gotta go search her. You gotta go." It's like I was fangirling about her. But then I remember her reaching out to me, and we were just chatting, and she was talking about trying something new on TikTok.
Mm,
And I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this girl go because she is the one who puts something into action and just implements, boom,
yeah,
it's done. There's no thinking. She doesn't
yeah,
procrastinate. And I am just in awe for her. And she created this thing called Fragrance Flight. Now, she is a
yes,
Scentsy consultant. Number one, she's amazing online because she has amazing online presence with her website and all that stuff. But then she did this Fragrance Flight on TikTok where she did videos of basically she was selling not I don't wanna say it wrong because she wasn't selling samples, but she was selling, an experience almost. So she put it through compliance, made sure it was good to go with compliance. All they said is that she couldn't give them a full wax, so she had to cut a little piece off. So she was online, and you see her cutting the little piece, the corner off, because it couldn't be a full bar,
mm,
and she would give them all these different, scents to smell, but then she also gave them the free gift. So she wasn't technically selling the samples, she was selling the gift, right? And all they were doing was paying for the shipping costs.
mhm,
And this got her wax into so many people's hands that would have never, ever investigated Scentsy before. And she
right,
had great success with this. And I'm like, I just applaud her for doing something different, right? I mean, in order to move forward, we have to do things that we've never done before.
mhm,
So I love when you can sit and chit chat with people about, what do you see, your future like what does direct sales look like for you? And I could sit there and say it's like direct sales doesn't look like it did back in 2020 for me, right?
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think I would ever leave the field completely because I think I would miss way too much about it.
mhm,
But there's certain things that I'm glad that are left behind, and I'm pulling the good forward. The
yeah,
pulling the things that I love forward into my next who knows how many years in this industry, right? There's so many things, and I'm like, I'll drop a little thing. I don't know if I've even told you, but I am in the process of possibly writing a book. So
oh, that
that's my long game. But yeah, knowing me, I'm like anybody listening to this that knows me from trainings will giggle because I always say start backwards,
yeah,
and then so I actually started with the conclusion.
this is how I
So
want it
my
to end,
so my conclusion is all done. I have all the things in place there. Now I just have to write my book.
and you spoke it out loud, so now it has to happen, we're all gonna
Yeah, well, and that's just like when I was on Becky's podcast for the first time, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing a podcast," and I'm like, "Oh
yeah,
man, now I just said that out loud, so I really have to do it." But yeah, I'd love to know. Tell me in the comments if you would buy my book. It's going to be like the 20 years of the other 99%. The title will probably change, but that's basically what it's going to be
that's awesome,
about, like what's it called? Like a memoir or whatever?
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know the terminology for
yeah,
I'm not an author by any means. So
that's so exciting.
oh yeah.
So, listening to you talk, you've mentioned multiple different people who you've met, gotten ideas from, and then ran with those ideas. So, this is what I don't like about some direct sales companies is that they're very protective, very they don't want their consultants to collaborate or learn from anyone other than their company. And I think that's
And
really
that's where I came from.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a good
That
idea.
that's where I came from. That was weird. No, I always thought
Yeah,
that was so weird.
yeah. So, I
Yeah.
mean, our company, they were pushing the home parties for many, many years. And then eventually they realized, okay, people are doing things different ways. We can't lock them into the home party in-person events because they're still
Mhm.
being very successful online, websites, social media. And so then, they really changed their trainings. They introduced more opportunities for us to do things. But I can't imagine
Mhm.
doing all that I did being closed minded and only following my company. That's why I think it's so important to join an academy like the Modern Direct Seller Academy. Lisa and I just can't say enough about this. Becky Launder is amazing. Everybody in that academy is amazing and generous in sharing what they're learning, how they're doing it. We get so excited for people when they have their first scroll party or they launch their website or they have a
Mhm.
book, they publish a book. I mean, these things are so exciting, and then it inspires you, like, "Hey, I can write a book. I'm gonna write a book
Yeah.
too, or I can have a YouTube channel." So it's so important to be surrounded by positive, encouraging, like-minded entrepreneurs.
Well, we gotta give Evelyn credit for that because I know Evelyn started with the YouTube and I know
Yeah.
you were inspired by Evelyn's YouTube. And then we were just talking on a call and Evelyn was saying about writing a book and I'm like, okay, Evelyn, let's write a book. We're gonna challenge each other to write a book. So it's like Evelyn is our like our instigator. She starts it all, right?
The instigator for
But
good.
it's so great. Yeah, the good instigator. But I love that. I love what you said there, but breaking out and talking to different people from different companies. Because one thing that I've always said is direct sales is direct sales. The model of that is the same no matter what business you're in. You just have to tweak the things that they're teaching you to fit into your business. Like I know that when going back to Kimberly Polito, when she was talking about this fragrance flight, we were actually going back and forth. Well, how could I implement this for Epicure? Like what could I do for Epicure? And I was just working through because I'm not as good as her with, just get it done and press start. I overthink everything. But I started thinking about, okay, well, I could do that with samples. I'm not technically selling the samples, but they can pick maybe four different samples and then they get a free gift, and that free gift would have been a meal solution package. They wouldn't have known which one was coming, and basically all they were paying was for the shipping. So I wasn't really selling anything. I was just paying to ship it to them. But just think about that in terms of getting your product into the hands of so many people that have never or would have never tried your product without that sample being there, right? Think about how that could grow your business. And not even to mention like direct sellers out there who have their own websites, like Oh My High websites. We were just on a live support call before this podcast recording. And the amazing things that some of the direct sellers are doing with their sites, it's like I'm sitting there in awe. Like we have one lady who's in her 70s who is using her website, Diana. Like we'll give her a shout out. Like she's using her website in ways that other people would never think of. Like she's putting together her ageless collections. She's with skincare company and she's putting her recommended collections together. Like who else is doing that? Like there's that trust, that no like and trust factor that she's building there. And that is amazing, right?
Yeah.
So
So now,
there's so many things.
yeah, our websites now you can have a shop page where Lisa can
Mhm.
sell her digital products. It doesn't just have to be your company product. She can sell her book when she gets that book. We can sell a download, a PDF, a guide. I mean, the possibilities are endless. And all of those things that we create, that's 100% commission goes to us. 100% of the sale goes to me. I don't have to split it with my company. The products, if I sell the products, I'm getting my, 25, 35% commission. But anything I create, that's me. That goes straight to me. And what an opportunity we have.
Yeah. Well, I giggle because like I literally just hit publish on my custom chat GPT and I haven't even shared it with I didn't think I shared it with anybody.
Mhm.
And I got sales already. And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Where did you?" So they must have just been on a call where I was chatting about it and they, did a little bit of research and found it. And I'm like, "Wow, thank you. Thank you."
Yeah,
So like when I'm ready to actually promote that, can you imagine? Like that's just like you said, direct money into my bank
right.
account.
And it's
Like,
all
payments are all
automated.
taken online. Yeah,
Yep.
payments are taken online, it goes right into my Stripe account, then it goes through Stripe into my bank account. When somebody orders it, once they have a successful payment, they get a notification, "Thank you for purchasing. Here's your download."
Yeah.
It's done. Like,
Set it
then
up
they're fed
once.
into my CRM. Yeah,
Right.
and then they're fed into my CRM so that I can keep them notified of anything else that's coming. Because if somebody has purchased with you, I pride myself in providing products that are valuable, and sometimes I over deliver um, on most of what I put out there because I want to make sure that for the money that you're paying that you're getting a good value. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of things that I over deliver and it's like that. So when I put my next thing out, you're going to be interested and you're going to take a look at it and it's a great way to build your business that way. And
Yeah.
I mean anybody could do that.
Yeah, and it helps you see the value that you offer. Like my husband is always telling me, you need to monetize yourself. You give too much away for free. And at first, I just
Mhm.
assumed like that's my role. Like I'm supposed to just, give free advice and help people. But through this whole process, talking to you and watching the other modern direct sellers, make money on things, I'm like, wait a minute. Like I do have some valuable trainings to offer. Why am I just giving it away for free? People will pay for this. And then that, it validates me. This isn't just a hobby. Like this is my business. This is my full-time job. I need to treat myself as a boss, as an employee, my own boss. But I think it makes you think about what you have to offer and take yourself a little bit more seriously.
Yeah. And I mean, I think we have to look at it this way. And I've done trainings upon training. So it's like I've heard and seen everything. And one thing that I remember is them telling you that, the information that you're giving away or that you're selling isn't always going to be information that you've just come up on your own, right?
Mhm.
But what people are paying for is the fact that you took the time to compile all of that information that maybe would have taken them 2 days to find
Yeah.
into one easy to read, nice looking e-document that they could just sit there and gain all that information at once. So
Mhm.
take my custom GPT for example. Anybody can create a custom GPT with a paid chat GPT account, but it took me a long time to sit
Mhm.
there and train this custom GPT so that now all that you need to do is put in a simple prompt like, help me write a blog about my new shampoo.
Mhm.
And then my custom GPT is going to ask you a few questions because that's what I told it to do
Yeah.
because I geared it to people who aren't um, truly tech savvy, who don't know much about blogs, who have really not much of an idea about what SEO is or how to use it. So I trained my GPT to do that. So it asks you questions to then provide you with a full blog and a bunch of other stuff like proper heading types and all the things
Yeah.
but so that you can just take that and tweak it, put it into your own words, and create a blog in maybe 15 minutes where it may have taken you 2 hours before,
Yeah.
right? So that's $17 Canadian. And I always giggle because it's Canadian. So for you guys, that's pretty cheap, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
But I live in America.
$17 Canadian. Yeah. It's like it's like a no-brainer, right? Because that your time is valuable,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
And
perfect
I've taken that
example.
yeah.
Good.
Well, I was
Um,
just going to say, and I've taken that time to initiate that and put it all together for you to save you time in your business,
yeah.
right?
Perfect example is we were just on a call for the Oh My High website support that Lisa was hosting, and there were about 8 of us on the call, and the one girl, she's like, "I have been trying to build my website since November, and I've been pulling my hair out, and it's just time consuming and frustrating," and she finally got an email saying, "Hey, do you want us to do it for you? Like, here's the cost. We'll build your entire website 5 pages for you."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Yes, like
Yep.
that is worth the money," because and she said, "I felt an immediate like release. The burden is off of my shoulders." So if she could do it, she could do it. I have complete faith that she could have built her website, but it was
Definitely.
frustrating, it was
Yep.
time consuming, it was taking way too long. So for her, it was worth it to pay that amount for someone else to do it. And that's exactly what we're talking about.
And when you think about it, and that, like, I mean, what they're charging, it's 9.97. Like that, if you were to get an actual graphic or web designer to do that, they'd be charging you like $5,000,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is. It's like, yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah. How much is
Right.
your time worth? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So I guess
Well,
I
and I
mean the
also, so this is, I was going to say this goes off to like something other than direct sales, but it's the exact same thing. It's like you need to know what your time is worth. What are you worth?
right.
Because my we always have this conversation or argument with my husband. He's like, "Oh, I could go do that." So my son just recently purchased a car
Hmm.
and it couldn't be driven. It had to be like either put on a trailer and brought home or it had to be towed. So
Hmm.
my husband's there, "Oh, we'll just go and we'll rent a trailer, cost, okay? Then we'll drive an hour, put this truck on this trailer, strap it in, drive it home, go and take the truck back." So it probably would have been a 4-hour process. So
Right.
rent the trailer and 4 hours of your time.
Yeah.
I called up the tow truck company. "Can you go get my son's truck?" And they're like, "Yeah, we could go tomorrow." I'm like, "Thank you very much." And my husband's like, "Why would you do that?" And I'm like, "Because time is money."
Yeah.
Right? It's like
Yeah.
time is money. And
Right.
then, but the funny thing is, he sat there and he said to me, "For what you paid for that tow, we probably would have only saved $50."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, time
Yeah.
is money."
Yeah.
Right? So that could be you can relate that to your business, like, just like Kim. It's like she realized that her time is more valuable than that $997 to get that website done.
Right. Right.
So that's amazing. And I love that she did that on the call because she goes, "I
I
did
know.
have questions for you, but I just got that email and my questions, I don't have them anymore."
I have no worries. Oh my gosh.
And that's
Well, this
awesome.
reminds me, we did an episode a while back on imposter syndrome. And I think that's where I was stuck for a long time, thinking, like, who's going to pay for a service that I offer? Who's going to pay for one of my trainings? And I had that imposter
Mhm.
syndrome, and it is not a good place to be. So if you are in that place, to our listeners, go back and listen to that episode on imposter syndrome, and you've got to get out of that mindset because you are valuable. You have things to
Mhm.
share that
Mhm.
people need to hear, and people are going to resonate with you. When I was getting on YouTube, I kept hearing that message over and over from other YouTubers. People are waiting to hear from you. You need to get out there. You need to start offering the trainings, the courses, the PDFs, the downloads, whatever it is that you feel like you can offer, start doing it because people are waiting for you.
Yeah. I just think about some of the ladies that we work with Oh My High, and I know some of the girls in Tastefully Simple. They're creating meal plans and
Mhm.
shopping lists and all this stuff, and people are paying other people that aren't in direct sales big money for full-on meal plans.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you get into that as well? And but what I love is the fact that these girls are like very reasonably pricing their products, like $7 for a full week meal plan with grocery list and all this stuff. Um, so it's like, yeah, your time, your knowledge is powerful and
Yeah.
valuable. And just like
Yeah.
you, I mean, the amount of information that you have inside that head about skincare and how to take care of your skin and the proper, the proper way. Yeah, I was in Mary Kay before and I knew everything back then, but
Yeah.
now I pick up the stuff and I'm like, do I put the serum on before the moisturizer or the moisturizer before the serum? It's like, what do I do? Right. So it's not always intuitive to people.
Right.
But like
Right.
that's something that you could create a course on 10 days to clear skin or 10 days to reduce those dark spots or something
Oh,
like that. Like you just have to watch your compliance rules, but you know what I mean, right? There's a lot of information. 10 days to visibly reduce dark spots or something.
yeah.
You can't take them
Reducing
away, but
appearance
you
of,
could there you go.
yeah, don't
I
get
love
yourself
that. So Susan, do you have anything else in the plan for the future right now, or can you can you give
focusing.
us a little look into Susan's future?
Yeah, just focusing on growing YouTube. That is where I am now. We talked about Pinterest a little bit, and I kind of dabbled before. So maybe that's coming too, because that's another search engine. I love the things that people can type in, customer care or lemongrass spa or skincare, and I want to come up. I want to be top of that list. Um, so that's really where I'm focusing. Although I do have some in-person events sprinkled in. We have a vendor event, a huge small business expo that we're planning in our area coming up in October. And just getting other small businesses together to share each other's businesses, get to know each other, and be that natural referral. So I think it's important to kind of dabble in multiple areas, but find the area that you really love and really learn everything about it, keep up to date with everything, and just dive in unapologetically, and don't think like, "Oh my gosh, what are people going to think?" Not everybody that
Yeah.
is going to be watching it, but the people who want to see it will see it. So just do it. Just do it.
And I love that. I love what you're saying is yeah, I mean, I got a lot of things going, but I just want to say this before I share, but I love what you're saying because not once did you mention I'm going to jump into Facebook and grow my VIP group. What you're doing, all of the things that you've mentioned that you're doing are helping you be found by others,
Right.
whether it's through a
My
Google search,
people
a
already
YouTube
know.
search, a Pinterest
r-
search.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So your goals are growing your business long term.
Yeah.
And that's what, from what you're sharing, that's what you're doing. And I love that, right? I mean, and you know what, Susan, Pinterest, you have all the things in place to do Pinterest because you blog on a consistent basis. You're on YouTube. So you have things to refer people back to. So I don't think getting you started on Pinterest would be that much of a big deal. And it's just a matter of grabbing some Canva templates to make your pins, your
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like I think you could be going quite easily on Pinterest. So keep
Okay.
that in mind. So my love language is teaching people. And I just I love that. So I still have long-term goals of creating more courses. Most likely like maybe uh maximizing chat gpt for small business owners. I know that AI sometimes gets a bad rap, but it can do so many good things for us, and the only bad thing is copying and pasting and not putting your own tone to it. Like that's the only bad thing that I can see. I would love to do another course on Canva. I just love Canva. Maybe I do a little course on Pinterest too, because I don't know if everybody knows this, but for about a year, I was a Pinterest manager. Like I managed a few people's Pinterest accounts. And then I'm like, I realized that I didn't like working in that capacity, so I moved on and I did my own training thing. But I mean, that's something that I could do because in order to give people information, you only need to know it's like 10% more than what they need to know, and you need to know how to guide them.
Mm.
So I can
Yeah.
easily guide somebody through the Pinterest process, right? So there's a lot of things spinning in my head, but I think right now I'm going to focus on trying to get this book completed and working from there. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
I
sounds
love that. And
exciting.
that's such a good point you just said. You don't need to be an expert because the experts sometimes they're not relatable. So the people who are the middle class direct sellers, they might be inspired, but they can't duplicate because it's just not where they are. They don't have enough time, they don't have enough tech savviness, whatever. But like you said, when you're just a step ahead, then people are like, okay, that's the next step for me. I'm going to learn from her, get to that step. By that time, you'll be a step ahead and they'll keep following you. So,
Yep.
yeah, you don't have to be the
Yeah.
expert. You just have to be a step ahead of someone.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed hearing what Susan and I have shared in this episode. We would love to hear from you guys. We would love to see what your long game is and know if we can help you in any way to get there. So either drop us a comment or reach out to us through any of the social channels that we share in the show notes. But we'd love to chat. We look forward to seeing you guys on another episode of The Other 99%. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next week.
That's a wrap for today's episode of The Other 99%. We just want to say thank you. It truly means the world to us that you're here. Lisa and I absolutely love creating these episodes for you, and we're so grateful to have you in our community. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to like, share with a friend, leave a review, and subscribe so you never miss a new episode. We drop fresh content every Tuesday. Got thoughts, questions, or ideas? Leave us a comment. Want to be a guest on the show? We would love to chat with you. Apply by clicking the link in the show notes. Thanks again for spending time with us today, and we'll catch you on the next episode of The Other 99%.